Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay. All right. So, welcome in, welcome all. Happy, merry Black History Month. Hopefully, the music isn't too loud. But we live and we learn, and we'll, you know, play it back and see what the tea was. So, something just kicked on. Okay. Any doodles. So, welcome to Black Recess's sub category of events called Detention Cypher. Detention Cypher is something that was born out of quarantine, given that Black Recess is a typically an outdoor activation or an in-place activation. When we were in quarantine, I still wanted there to be an opportunity for us to convene as a community and, you know, fellowship. So Detention Cypher was my little clubhouse. So it's centered around art and media typically, or anything worldly. And I try to connect it as much as possible to my spiritual journey, esoteric concepts, mysticism, the occult, or sacred knowledge. So today's detention cipher is about problematic visionaries. Problematic in the sense that they go against the grain in a lot of ways. They go against societal norms. They challenge common perception, common conception, one of those. And they're so far ahead of their time and so forward thinking and progressive that the things that they say or the things that they create or invent can go over a lot of people's heads. It could scare a lot of people. It could confuse a lot of people. Um, and eventually folks catch on, of course, like later on, years later, decades later, after they're gone, most of the time. I see now more than ever though, and I probably take a hazard to guess that it had a lot to do with, the panorama and Miss Roman. That people are just being more appreciative or being more present or being more mindful of the things that they do have, and showing their gratitude for the people that they do love instead of waiting to the last moment to express their love, delights, admiration for someone. So that is the purpose of this celebration tonight, is to celebrate those here and gone who are ahead of their time or ahead of their time, and just uplift them. These are typically people that do get a bad rep, especially if they're still here walking amongst us in the 3D. They're known for being outspoken, speaking their mind, not saying things that you necessarily want to hear, but saying things that they truly feel and mean, and they're earnest about it. These are very earnest individuals, okay? And these problematic visionaries are in no particular order. I have 10 that I'm going to go through, and then I have 5 honorable mentions. All right, so let's get started. Oh, yes, and welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is Asia Thompson, aka Militant Unicorn, and I am a Reiki Master Practitioner, spiritual coach, and creative professional and activist, depending on which day of the week it is. And I own a brand called Militant Universe, where we are a wellness and leisure brand that helps reframe the Black mind around the importance of wellness and leisure. Um, I guess before soft life was soft life, just making wellness and leisure practical for people. Um, Helping folks to understand the value, the benefit in investing in leisure and investing in wellness. And all of the beautiful things that are born out of that, all of the chains that are broken, all of the healing that takes place, all of the pain that is transmuted through playing and nurturing thyself. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So moving on. Now, like I said, these are in no particular order, but let's just go ahead and jump straight in. We have Mr. West, Kanye West. Yay. He is definitely a problematic visionary. We'll start off with some basic stats that'll probably help us to do some links between the worldly plane and the more mystical plane. So I like to do origin, so I don't do where people are from. I do where people are born, because I feel like that has a lot of significance in someone's life, or you know, I guess they kind of. I mean, in the stars, it helps. It paints a picture of someone's destiny or uh, life story or life path or life purpose, right? So Google says he was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Legend has it that he was born in Douglasville, Georgia, at Douglas County Hospital, which is in Greater Atlanta, not Metro, just to make that distinction. Okay, his sign is sidereal, so there's two zodiac systems. There might be more than two. Um, but typically the more mainstream ones are sidereal and tropical. And in the West, we use more sidereal. So I just wanted to put that in there. Maybe a little side note. Maybe somebody want to go look it up and research further. So he's a Gemini. He is best known for rapping, producing, but also clothing designer. Most hated for everything from Sunday service to his clothing lines to slavery was a choice, etc. For me, artists like him, especially in the times that we live in now, I feel like this might be a tad bit too loud. I'm very sensitive to sound, so because I know this is low on my computer, but I still feel like that little tambourine piece in the background. Excuse me. Yeah, let's pause here. Okay, yeah, I'm pausing. So, in this modern age of respectability politics and everybody wanting to be liked or perceived in a good light, it doesn't leave room for honest opinions. It doesn't leave room for individual thought, for unique thought, for introspection. it breeds a culture of yes men, of people who are gonna say what they feel like is gonna get them a certain reaction. So people will, instead of just being honest, will show up in a very manipulative way, in a very predatory way, in order to manipulate the situation or co-opt the situation so that they can gain something from it, not so that they can have like a true exchange or not so that they can, open up and actually be vulnerable with the next person is simply to get what they want. And Kanye is just someone who's just very honest. Win, lose, or draw, whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, he is going to always be fully embodied and always be self assured and always just speak his mind and trust his gut and value his own words and value his own opinions, even when other people may turn their nose up at it or may not understand it or may try to twist it and make it sound malicious. Now, one thing that I will say about all these problematic visionaries that I've put in in this presentation is that none of them that to my violent or excuse me to my knowledge are violent, like physically violent, have you know have a history of like beating on people or verbally abusing people. I don't know why people mistake being truthful with being malicious. I think if the truth hurts you that much, maybe you should take a look at your own internal workings to figure out what is being triggered that bad. I mean, of course, these people might have gotten into maybe altercations where they had to defend themselves. I know Kaya has like 26 mugshots, I'm not sure. Yeah, she has t-shirts with them. But she's not a felon. All of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe all of the charges were dropped. I think so. I think she beat all the charges. Don't quote me on that. But beyond self-defense, these folks really just be speaking their mind and pissing people off. That's it. And it's fine if you don't like them, but I think that folks need to just be better, be better judges of character. Because the things that y'all are judging and the things that y'all are holding to higher standards are not, they're not helpful. They're not, it's not helpful to anybody. I don't think that being nice or being overly agreeable or amicable with everyone is benefiting anybody. It's just allowing folks to get their way at your expense. But I digress. Um, Everything that Kanye has said that has been controversial, I've made sure to always go back and watch the interview in full because people like to embellish. Folks like to just watch like 3 minutes or watch the little 60-second clip or a little whoop de whoop and go spinning a whole story that didn't, wasn't even close to the truth. And after I've done my research and after I've looked into the things that he said, it's just something to think about. These are just he's just chatting. It's not like, oh, this is set in stone. It's like he really just be trying to talk to folks and folks just are too afraid to open the dialogue. Are there, whether there are, I don't know this man, and I don't know his battle with his mental health journey, but that's besides the point, honestly, because I will take a pleasantly psychotic person over, some violent sociopath or narcissist any day of the week. If he wants to chat, let him chat. Okay. Let him chat. Y'all gonna listen. Y'all gonna eat it up. Okay, so let me go to my next folks. Okay. So another problematic fave. Again, no particular order, but I just wanted to, I guess a particular order. I want to get the obvious ones out of the way. Okay. So Azealia Banks. Okay, from Harlem, New York, Gemini as well. I put her down as Neo House. I don't know, of course she is a rapper as well and songstress. Um, but I love the work that she's done in terms of putting house back on the map. I feel like she was one of the ones that put house back on the map. And has been doing it, and she is an underground queen in my eyes. I think that she is someone who, regardless of how mainstream media may portray her, she is someone who is serious about her craft and about her work. And I've seen her, put in her hours and write her things and work on her cadence and flow and really be intentional about how she sings certain things, the speed or the tempo, all of the things. And to me, I feel like she lives a life that is unique to her. I appreciate Azealia Banks because she doesn't pretend to be anybody else or anything else but herself. And I don't know why that pisses people off so much that she just has opinions that are quite different from other people because again, she's not going to say the things that you want to hear. Okay. She's saying the things that she feels deeply, that she's earnest about. Okay. Some of the things that people, like to clock her for is Santeria, which people have their own interpretation of that realm of spirituality, whether it be Santeria or Hulu or Voodoo. Uh, there's another one I feel like I'm missing. But any of those divinatory systems, depending on, again, everything has a light side and a dark side, even within religion. There's some people there are good Christians and there are bad Christians, and there are good Jews and there are bad Jews. There are good Catholics and bad Catholics. There's good witches and bad witches. There's, good practitioners and bad practitioners. There's polars of everything. Just because somebody is a this or that, a nun or a priest, a witch or an herbalist, it doesn't mean that they are a type of person, that they are this or they are that. You can't. Again, I think that people need to be better judges of character. You cannot be so narrow-minded to think that just because someone practiced this or knows about this or is interested in a certain thing that makes them evil or that makes them work for the devil. Or it's like, inquire what got them into this particular thing. What has their journey been? You'll be surprised at the things that you learn. And for me, whatever gives somebody hope and the will to continue going and to be a better version of themselves and to follow their passions and to be fully embodied, I encourage you to fully lean into that. If it's Christianity, lean into that. If it's Buddhism, lean into that. If it's Judaism, lean into that. If it's spirituality, lean into that. Like, I'm not going to shun anybody for believing in something that fills them with light and vitality. Like, not everything's dark. It's the darkness is when you're projecting onto other people or you're impeding on other people's will, on other people's will, on other people's destiny. When you're sending folks evil eye or being envious or wishing bad on somebody or hoping that they don't fulfill something or don't complete something. That's dark arts. That's dark magic. That's what a lot of y'all be doing and thinking You know what I'm saying? Oh, when I go to church, no, but you talk about everybody in the church. So, I mean, what good is you even being there? But I digress. Again, most of these people, the only thing they've done is spoken their mind and gotten backlash for it, been honest, been earnest. Whether people like what they said or not, that's irrelevant to me. Okay. But we're moving on. Okay. Moving right along. Excuse me, sorry. I'm extending the reservation for this room. Yes. Okay. Our next problematic fave is MIA. We love her. Okay. We are a stan. She was born, origin of birthplace, Hounslow, London. She's a Cancer. Best known for Paper Planes, but she is a producer, videographer, uh, activist, rapper. Yes. And most hated for standing alongside her Tamil people amidst the Sri Lankan civil war. I believe. I mean, civil, because it was as this was recent. So I want to say, I mean, I feel like it still might be going. I still like, I still feel like either there's remnants of the civil war in Sri Lanka that are still happening, or it's still like a full blown war. Now, I love MIA because she is really about that life. Okay. You know how some people rap about, you know, being from the slums or being from the hood, and like these are the same people who can't go back for, a number of reasons. And yes, we all know it's because people are like jealous and envious, and if you come back flashy, you could someone out of sheer jealousy and hate could take your life, or try to embarrass you or put you in harm's way or rob you, um, because of how jealous they are. MIA can still go back to her hood, and she does so religiously. She does so faithfully. She believes in giving back to her people. She believes in standing beside her people in the fight. Um, she believes in sacrifice. She is someone who is not easily bought, um, as Grace Jones so famously said. MIA is someone who has just always used her platform to push for freedom, to activate on behalf of the oppressed, to bring to the forefront any injustice that was happening globally or locally. And a lot of people don't understand, um, how powerful that is to have someone with any sort of platform speak exclusively about civil, social inequities, right? Because it can put a target on your head, especially when we live in a time where the goal is to keep as many people asleep as possible. And MIA does the exact opposite, regardless of how many times she gets shut down, like her lives get shut down, or she gets censored, or people try to like shun her or make her feel like she's crazy. She always uses her platform to push forward the message of liberation for all of those in the struggle. And I'm going to plug her documentary that came out a few years ago. I wanted to go see it. It was like a you know those little artsy theaters where it's like select um features get screened there and stuff like that. So she was like mainly in one of those types of theaters. Small artisanal, like you know, independent film theaters, right? One of those. And but I ended up renting it on Amazon. I think it is still on Amazon for you to rent. And her story is really kind of epic. And if you have a chance to look at it, I'd give it a watch. I rented it and watched it like 3 or 4 times. There were just so many things that clicked for me and like made the music even more potent or poignant. Maybe we can use those interchangeably. But yeah, it made me understand her a little bit more, appreciate her a lot more. Um, and just like I remember one time she had got a lot of backlash. Well, she stayed getting backlash. Every time she bring up the Sri Lankan Civil War, everybody would like play her to the left. Um, one of them Comedy Central folks. I don't think it was Stephen Colbert. It was the other guy. Um, who like just totally blew her off when she started talking about this. Okay. Dang. Where was I going with that? Um, girl, I forgot what I was gonna say. That's okay. But yeah, that's my girl, MIA. I love her. Yes. So she had backlash from MTV because they had like a uh, international activism award or something. Um, some category that they had. Let me look it up. International. Um, is it activist awards? Because it was between her, um, yeah, International Activist Award. I want to say because I want to say, or was it the International Artist Award at the AMAs? Okay, so it was the International Artist Award. Okay, yeah. So sorry. So in 2007, the AMAs, they had a category, the International Artist of Excellence Award, right? And the people in the category was Muse, the 1975 U2 MIA, Blondie, Bastille, and PJ Harvey and Beyonce. And they gave it to Beyonce. Now, I think that the criteria behind, uh, being an international. Now, this is 2007 Beyonce, okay? So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, and this is the AMAs in Britain. Maybe by 2007, she's giving Ring the Alarm, Single Ladies, of course. You know, we're moving into Who Run the World Girls. Okay, we just got there though. These folks who are nominated have been around the world, okay, uh, and also dedicated their lives to other causes outside of their musical career. Again, that's Beyonce, so don't come for me telling I don't care what she's doing now. It's 2007. Yes, okay. And so at that time, MIA again, all her music is focused on the refugee experience. So it's kind of like, and she's always uplifted, the struggle, the Tamil struggle within her music. And she's gone out her way to do humanitarian efforts along with alongside her father because he is the leader uh, of a revolutionary group in Sri Lanka that opposes ethnic cleansing, and so MIA does a lot of work with that, even in his absence now that he's gone, he's transitioned. She has taken on a lot of that, but of course, he was there in 2007, so she was working alongside, him on that. So she wasn't taking any shots at Beyonce, so I'll say that she was just taking shots at the AMAs. Again, that was another time that she used her voice to just voice her opinion about what it meant to be an international artist, to speak and uplift the voices of the collective in a meaningful way that affects change and doesn't just look pretty. Fight me, okay? Next, Kaya Thug Misses, okay? Queen Kaya, we love her, we stand. Let's run it down. Okay, so she was born in Philadelphia, PA. She is a Scorpio, a November Scorpio. Um, no shade, but the October Scorpios are just childish. They need to grow up. I can handle a November Scorpio. They're more mature, they're more refined, a bit more in their element, developed, evolved. Okay. She is best known for her neck, her back. My neck, my back, the single. She is most hated for clocking Trina and Trick Daddy falling out with TS Madison. Okay, so Kaya, lover. I don't know where to begin. I think that she is the epitome of honesty, and also you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. She is someone that if you are kind and loving to her, she is going to return that energy. But if you're an asshole, if you're a con artist, if you're sneaky, if you're a snake, she's gonna call you out. And that's another thing about Kaya. She's not going to, you know, go low with you. She's going to call you out and cuss you out and tell you where you had her all the way effed up at. And I think that's fair. Um, and so I admire her honesty. I admire her for sticking to her guns, staying true to herself. You know, wish there was a way that I could close the blinds. These folks is so nosy. Um, Girl. Anyway, that'd be the thing about being in these daggone co-working spaces. It's supposed to be all up in your face. Like, oh, go on somewhere. It's 8 o'clock at night. What y'all still doing out here? Ooh, Earth be getting on my nerves sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, I really rock with Kaya. She's definitely someone who what I love most about her is that she is going to fund her own dream. She refuses to be locked in, pigeonholed to be confined by anybody's industry, to be puppeteered by anybody's executive. Before she's told what to do or how to do it, she would rather just fund it herself and do it herself. Um, and I've always loved that about her because she's going to do what she wants to do on her terms. No restrictions, nobody telling her, oh, you can do this, but with all these caveats. If Kaya can't do it exactly the way Kaya wants to do it, then she's not doing it with you. And it's nothing personal. I think that people just need to like get out their feelings and stop being so self-centered, thinking that, oh, they're doing this intentionally to hurt me. No, it's people are allowed to live a life that they want. People are allowed to live their life on their terms without anybody interfering and telling them how to do it, how to do this, how to show up, how to look. Well, no, not everybody wants to be controlled like that. Not everybody is interested in somebody else's input on their lifestyle choices. Allow people to live the way that they want to live. Again, y'all need to be better judges of character. Stop assuming that just because somebody is fully embodied, that it's a threat to you. Me being fully embodied, me loving myself, me honoring my feelings, me honoring my voice, me speaking my mind and my truth is not a threat to you. It really has nothing to do with you. It should inspire you to mind your own business and check in with your own self. You know, the beefs she has with folks, not even really beefs, because Kaya said what she needed to say right then and there and left it there. And that would be wrong with people who be holding on to stuff because it's like you held on to all that thinking that, oh, I'm the bigger person. I'm going to make them look crazy. Meanwhile, you're seething inside because you want to clap back. You really do want to say something, but you're afraid of how other people might view you. Who cares? Let's get off your chest. That's what I love about Kylie. She don't get it off her chest. Okay, she don't get it off her chest. The the thing with Trina is, um, I think Kaya wrote for the Diamond Princess, but let me know. I don't even want to speak because I don't even really know that beef too well. But I know that Kaya pretty much wrote for Trina, and Trina can't write, can't really rap. And had she not have been slanging Cootie Cat, she may not have been popping for this thing. Popping, relatively speaking, I guess, like in mainstream terms, right? Pop. So everybody likes to try to gaslight Kaya like she's irrelevant, but then she has to pull out all her writing credits to like show people, no, I write for all your faves. And whether or not they want to announce me or not, I get all my coins from what I write. So I love that too. Like I always thought that that was pretty dope that she made sure that she was going to be compensated for her work fully, or she wasn't doing it again, like I said. And the whole thing with T.S. Madison, it was the same thing. You know, T.S. Madison wanted to be a star. Okay, she wanted to be have her name in lights. She wanted to be a celebrity. She wanted to be on the red carpets. And Kaya is not that girl. Kaya wants to get her coin and go off and buy her business in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, and whatever island she can put her feet in. That's all she wants to do. She's not trying to do all this extra stuff. So that's what that was. Kaya pulled out of the deal for them to partner with Viacom, to do the Queen's Court because they were trying to, finagle too many of her terms and conditions for partnerships. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. Okay. So that's also my girl. We're moving right along. Okay. Nikki, I should have put her, up earlier. She is definitely a problematic fave. I even fall in and out of love with Nicki Minaj. Okay. I call her HR payroll. She's HR payroll because you know them girl, the older aunties that be in HR payroll. When you first interact with them, they are just they're prickly. They're very prickly. But as long as you kind of like go along with the processes and procedures that they have put in place for all things HR and all things payroll, a relationship starts to open up, it starts to bloom. You start to understand their quirks and why they are the way they are. Okay. And that's how I feel about Nicki Minaj. Okay. So stats, of course, she was born in Trinidad. Okay. She's Sagittarius. She's best known for rapping. Most hated for bullying, so to speak. Okay. So here's my thing with Nicki. Nicki still has the heart as if she's on the come up DVD. And I love that for her, but I really wish this is just my hope for her. Because again, like I said, she's HR payroll Nikki. So I understand her quirks. I understand why she is the way she is. I may not agree with everything that she says. I may not always be with everything that she does. Okay. Pero yo entiendo. I understand. Okay. Okay. So I want her to really embrace a softer way of existence because I just feel like for her to be as abundant as she is, there's just not even certain things that I would even waste my time with or even be concerned with. There's certain places that I wouldn't even go to. Is certain types of people that I wouldn't even hang around. Certain types of energies that I wouldn't even invite in my aura, in my auric field, if I was as caked up as Nikki. Okay. See, God knew what she was doing when she made me wait. She humbled me before the come up. Because y'all wouldn't, I mean, it's like, y'all think I'm hard to reach now. With money, I'm jet setting, I'm living my life, I'm doing me. My phone is never on. It's always on D&D. Okay. I don't have time for nothing. I don't have time for no drama. I don't have time for no nonsense. If it's not a phone call about or an email about partnerships, contracts, okay, services is being rendered, don't hit me up, you know? But I feel like, Nikki still want to spar. She still want to be in the ring with folks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And poke and prod and all the things and make folks remember she's like, we get it, you to go. We get it, Nikki. Nikki, we get it. There's because for me, I know I'm in a space where I know me so much where it's just like it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter how you perceive me. I know me. I know me, so that's all that matters. I know I'm the GOAT. I know I'm the GOAT, so I'm gonna just act accordingly. Feel how you want to feel. Take whatever shots you want to take. Think you can take my spot. Think you can, you know what I'm saying? Have fun. But we all saw what happened when Nicki came back, and it was such a smooth comeback. The album release leading up to even the couple of weeks after, I'd say she had a good month run before we started with all this other mess. She was in her rich girl, rich auntie bag. We're just having fun. We're just doing little interviews. We're just releasing music, being soft. You know what I'm saying? Handing out perfumes, kissing babies, signing autographs. Why she wanted to start beefing with these little girls again, I don't understand. I don't understand that, Nikki. You know, but like I said, she still got heart. She still, you know what I'm saying, you know, she still got I don't know what the other word is when you still got weight on you or you still got I don't know. She still got time. She still got talent. She still got bars, you know. She's still relevant. She still got a wave to ride. But I feel like every time she turns her attention, you know, like I said, I get it, but I just feel like you because it sounds like I'm being hypocritical. Like, oh, she doesn't. It's okay to be a female bully. I'm gonna say it. I was fighting the urge to say it because I just don't want. I want somebody else to do it. I want somebody else to be the bully. You know, like being a bully doesn't necessarily look good on Nikki. However, I do understand that she can be a bully because she's been doing this for a hot minute. She can push you around. She can. I'm sorry. She can. She can. She can disrespect you a little bit. She can. Y'all let 50 do it. 50 then about disrespecting everybody who just stepped on the scene. He don't care. Same thing with Lil Boosie. He disrespect and Lil Boosie disrespect everybody, not even rappers. He disrespect your mama, your kids. He disrespecting everybody. Like, so it's okay for Nikki to be a bully. She can. She has seniority. She has rank. She has tenure. Okay. She has talent. She really does. Mhm. Lip gloss. Yep. All right, we back. Okay. And what? Who else? Or what else is she? You know, another thing that I love about Nikki is that um, I love that she took that time in the beginning of her career to like really have fun and play with her style and do her and get her international Harajuku Barbie bag and the whole Will I Am thing and the I just enjoyed, you know, a lot of people hate Roman's Revenge and Roman's Reloaded. I honestly love those albums. Okay. Love the pink print, I think. Yeah, love how bubbly she is, love how pink she is, love how animated she is. And I love how she's always standing 10 toes. And you know what also is probably happening too? It's like Nicki's probably just like really overstimulated with all of these. Because, for a while, it was just Nicki, and then, remember she was in prison. Um, and I mean, Missy Elliott would drop things like here and there. Eve, you know, she did like one. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Tambourine was out before Nicki dropped her first album. Yeah, so it was just Nicki for a while. She's probably just overstimulated. It's like y'all really playing in my face right now. Cause I mean, if we're being honest, I don't know what the switch up be with a lot of folks who come in the industry and then want to harp on the fact that I'm a rapper, I'm a real rapper. But it's like there's clips that you can go back to where they said that, oh man, I'm just here for the money. I'm just here to get my money up. You know what I'm saying? Let me quick little. It's just like, so which one is it? Like, are you actually a rapper or are you here just to get a point? And I feel like that's what be pissing Nicki off because it's just like it really do be seeming like y'all here just to get a little coin and you don't care about the art form. That's what really be pissing Nicki off because she's serious about the art form. Y'all need to stop triggering the HR payroll lady because that's how it be for HR payroll. It's just like people haphazardly filling out paperwork all willy nilly and then wondering why they not getting their coin, 2 weeks into them being employed, or why they didn't get reimbursed for that Uber trip when they fill out the paperwork for reimbursement. It's because you didn't do it correctly. You was too much in a rush. You was being hasty. You was just thinking about, oh, you was too thirsty. And I feel like that's what Nikki be trying to say to the girlies. But again, like I said with the HR payroll girlies, it's the way that you need to, it's really the way I wish that I could like just do a little course on how to gather the girls without like, because with all the problematic visionaries is like sometimes you have to kind of take on mirror your ops just a little bit, gaslight them. Like you don't have to blow up at them all the time. Like I be gaslighting my ops. I don't care. Like you're not finna sit here and make me feel crazy. I'm gonna make you feel crazier. Like don't do that. Don't do that. I'm way better at this whole, intellect game than a lot of people. So I know I may look young and aloof and unaware, but no, I be gaslighting folks. Don't ever try to play me like I'm crazy. Nah, that's never the case. And I'm not gonna blow up to prove your point. No, I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna play the long game. This is chess, not checkers. That's what I wish I could tell the payroll HR girlies. Because Nikki did so well with the rollouts. I was like, this is how you shut the girlies up because we all flopped. Nikki said the album is here and we ran barefoot at 2 a.m. in the morning to listen to this album in the dead of night, in the cold of winter. And that's the energy she should have kept. I don't care what anybody said or what she thought somebody said or anything. I'm not addressing it. I'm not addressing it. We got all these drops that are happening, weeks afterwards with 50, with Future. Girl, I just would not pay these children no mind. I just wouldn't have paid these children no mind. Let them eat. Let them have a little morsel. But I love her dearly. And I don't think well, I guess I am kind of, whatever, discernment. maybe that's a topic too. That's a through line. Okay. So the next one is Nina Simone. I said interesting because I was told I favor Nina Simone. Okay. Now I was told this by an old acquaintance who was more so likening my way of thinking and my way of doing things and my creative nature, as well as my battles with um, I guess like depression and or unworthiness or moments of feeling like I can't continue. Um, all those things coupled up said that I favor Nina Simone, which I I understood, like I empathized with the acquaintance at the time, and I'm going to get into why they are why Nina Simone is a problematic visionary for me. I will start off by saying that I don't know entirely too much about her work, so I did do a quick Google search and found out that we do share a lot in terms of passions, using our work to uplift those who may feel ignored and may feel invisible. Activism at its finest. And what I also resonated with is the passion that she had to defend her stance and defend her conduits of expression, her channels of expression, her forms of expression, and not lowering her tone for anybody. Now, people characterize that or will categorize that as being angry, as being loud, as having outbursts. But what do you expect someone to do who is constantly ignored, constantly gaslit, constantly told that their opinions don't matter, constantly told that that is not true? This is not happening. That injustice is not that bad. You don't know what you're talking about. That is in the past. All of these things, when when clearly they know, clearly she knows, clearly I know that I'm just being told to drop the bone so that I'm not making you uncomfortable with the truth. Again, I don't know why people like to equate being truthful with being some sort of like vagrant or being a tyrant or being crazy and erratic because I'm telling you the truth, because I'm telling you how I feel, because I'm being honest with my emotions, because I'm telling you I hurt, because I'm telling you I've been wronged and how I feel about it. I'm crazy. And what does that say about the people who go around ignoring the cries, ignoring the pleas, ignoring my story? What does that say? I mean, it says more about you than it does about me. It says that you're numb. It says that you're complicit in this and complacent. You don't want to see any changes for real. And so that's enough to drive somebody crazy. And is one of the reasons why I went through such a horrible dark night of the soul and such a horrible bout of depression because I was like, no one's hearing me. No one's hearing me. No one sees me. Everybody's got their own things. And I'm just left here feeling all these things. It's like I'm the only one on the planet that feels this. Like I'm just making this up. It's enough to make you lose your mind. Right? And so as a result, she is most hated for her political activism, her civil rights activism, because she refused to shut up about it. She refused to drop the ball until there was change. But I do admire her and look up to her for seeking whatever assistance, whatever help that she needed in order to cope, manage, and get through those bouts. Um, that is a testament of true strength. And anybody who laughs at that or tries to undermine the difficulty or the undermine the resilience it takes in order to do a feat like that, I say try it yourself before you cast any judgment. Or take a look in the mirror to see how stable you really are. All right, moving on. Flame Monroe. I love Flame Monroe as a person. I can't honestly say that I've actually sat down and watched any of their stand up specials. But Flame Monroe to me is the epitome of being twin spirited. And I have so much reverence for queer individuals, especially twin spirited individuals, because to harness both of those energies as effortlessly as Flame Monroe does is a true art form and it's a beauty for me to watch. You know what? I take that back. I did see their special on Ooh She Ready by Tiffany Haddish. Flame Monroe did do a good job. I'm gonna rewatch it though, because I probably was just mesmerized again. Every time I see Flame Monroe, I'm always mesmerized. So stats. They're from Chicago, Illinois. Their sign is a Cancer. Didn't I say Nina Simone stats? It's okay. We'll move on. Um, Flame Monroe is most known as a comedian and most hated for being confused, being fluid, truly twin spirit. Okay, for me, in this new chapter of my life, I really want to experience people as they are and not as I want them to show up, right? There's so much freedom in just taking in somebody as they are without any expectations, without expecting them to shift or morph into some more desirable form for your palate so it's more palatable for you and so that you can stomach it. I think it's so much beauty in just standing in it and being able to experience something that you might have never thought that you would have the opportunity to experience or never thought that this was going to be an experience that you had. And that's Flame Monroe for me. And they don't shy away from who they are, which I also think is super beautiful. And this is no shade to queer people, queer individuals that have to live a more stealthy life because there is some danger associated with being different and with embodying those differences and standing fully in your truth because there is so much fear around change and around other, right? Because you can't easily label other, you can't easily identify others. So that means it must be dangerous because we haven't figured out what it is yet instead of just accepting what it is or that it is and that it exists and that you don't have to have a name or a label for it or it doesn't have to make sense for you, make sense to you for it to be okay to exist. So Flame Monroe has even gotten backlash from people within the queer community because they feel like they may be sending out, the wrong message that everybody is flip floppy or back and forth in terms of like their um, their gender expression or gender identity. Um, and Flame understands that it is a unique experience to them, but they're just saying from their point of view that whenever somebody wants to call them, as long as it's in love, then they don't mind. You know, they understand that, especially being older, that there's people are just not as receptive to change. They're not receptive to, especially older people are not receptive to things that are queer, things that are androgynous, things that are ambiguous or too flippy floppy. They get uneasy. They feel like it's messy. They feel like it's of the devil. Um, and Flame has so much empathy and understanding when it comes to that, but also does not care, you know? And to me, I just feel like that's such a liberating space to be in because whereas it has infuriated other people like T.S. Madison, who feels like there are people who try to illegitimize her experience as a woman, as a trans woman, because of people like Flame Monroe who are just like, oh, you call me, you call me, she, you call me they, whatever, it's whatever I look like on that particular day. You know, it feels like for them is more so it doesn't matter how other people perceive me, it's not going to change how I perceive myself. Whereas I feel like for someone like T.S. Madison, she wants it to be recognized. She recognizes herself as a woman, but she also wants people to respect and recognize her as a woman as well. Like in a real way. Like that's a sign of respect for her. And honestly, depending on the person, just honor that. That's another thing. I really love Flame Monroe in the sense that they have a particular way and a viewpoint in how they view their gender identity and gender journey. And but I also love the fact that T.S. Madison demands that she be identified as a woman, demands that people, and holds that as a signal of respect, and doesn't just blow it off like, oh, call me whatever. And I do think that it should be on a case by case basis. Don't assume that based on this one person's story that it's the same for every person that kind of fits the mold. Especially when it comes to queer people, every queer person has a very, very different experience. And I don't think there's no two queer experiences that are the same, honestly. There are just like too many combinations or too many variations of queerness that everybody got a little bit of something. Everybody's mixed up with something everywhere, mixed up. So I I'm rambling when it comes to Flame because with them, I think the main thing for me is being so open. What really shocked me is the Breakfast Club interview. I do not like Charlemagne with a burning passion. I think that he's a jackass. I really do. I know that he's going through his own healing journey and he comes to terms with some of the things that he said in the past. Um, and can come off as remorseful for some of the things that he says. I still think he's a jackass. But Flame Monroe went on the show and was very graceful in sharing their queer experience and you know what it's like and trying to break it down to the straight mind in a way that made them feel included. How that's the way that I view the interview is that They were really trying to like make it accessible to these straight folks instead of making it like this ominous, super convoluted thing. Flamer was like, this is the simplest way for you to understand it, um, based on my experience exclusively. And I just appreciate how they just take the time to be open and honest about their experience with, without pulling any punches or beating around the bush or even being offended. Because a lot of straight people will get tensed up around queer folk or feel like, oh, I can't even have this conversation because they always got an attitude. They're always so defensive, blah, blah, blah. And that may be the case, but it's because I say dumb shit. But Flame Monroe, she's sweet, okay? They're gonna be patient with you, walk you through it, you know, make you understand it, not be offended by the ignorant things that you might say in the process of them explaining their queer experience. I love their grace. I really do. I love their grace. I love their embodiment. I also love how nurturing they are. I just find it so loving. I love when queer black men have children for some reason. I think that's the sweetest thing for black men to nurture children because I just feel like again it's the best of both worlds. They really are caring, gentle giants, that just are so filled with love. You know what I mean? And I know that people get weird because the way that straight people think about queerness is so perverse. I'm speaking of it as an energy where you're probably thinking of it as just like this sexual thing and oh they're gonna get around anything with the penis and wanna no, it's not it's not how queerness works. That's a sickness. That's pedophilia. Anybody can be a pedophile. Straight people are pedophiles. Like stop, equating pedophilia to queerness. Stop doing that. That's disrespectful. Okay. Be better judges of character, please. Stop with this archaic way of thinking when it comes to things like this. I'm not as graceful as a flame, okay? But we're moving on. Tina Turner, R.I.P. Love you, girl. Her origin of birth is in Brownsville, Tennessee. Okay, she's Leo, best known for What's Love Gotta Do With It, single and documentary or biopic, excuse me. And most hated for moving on from trauma. I love Tina Turner dearly. Okay. She is, she makes more and more sense to me the older that I get. Miss Mama's sacrificed everything, gave up her whole like life. Her she sacrificed and renounced her whole old life, anime, for peace. She was like, just let me keep my name and we good. Like you can have everything. I just want my peace. I feel you, girl. I feel you. There's this people always bring up this moment at the press run for What's Love Got to Do with It, and this is Angela Bassett's like huge breakout role. This is a big moment for her. She's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. She's woo. Just talking about how much she enjoyed doing the film, blah blah blah, and working with Tina Turner. And I can't remember what Tina said verbatim at the press. Right. Let's see if we can look it up. Let's see. And press run. Let's see some. 200 reading. She said, because I really want to quote what she said. It was like really quick. Okay. I can't find what the actual quote was, but let me see if I can just summarize it. Pretty much, they asked her if she watched the movie or did she, how was it rewatching like the fight scenes or something like that? It was one or the other, and she was like, "I'm not interested in reliving my trauma." So those, she was like, "I'm pretty sure Angela Bassett did a wonderful job, but yeah, I wasn't interested in watching that." And people, had a whole attitude with her or thought that she was being a bitch by doing that. But it's like, girl, try getting your ass beat for 25 years straight, and then a biopic comes out when, after you know what I'm saying? After being flat on your, it's like, people don't understand, like, the journey of self rediscovery after a bout of being on your ass. Like this woman, especially when I watched the HBO documentary before she passed that she did, and I found out that the end of the biopic that we saw in the '90s, where she's like all triumphant on the stage doing her hit single "What's Love Got to Do with It." It cuts out the whole part about her doing the Las Vegas circuit, barely making ends meet to keep food on the table. And she couldn't spend time with her kids like she wanted to because again she's ripping and running because all she had was her name. She lost everything in this divorce with Ike because he was so bitter and whatever he was going through with his issues with self worth and feeling like all people are always stealing from me and nobody ever appreciates me. So she was like, "Here, huh? Shut up. Take all, please leave me alone." And I felt that. And it wasn't, she did all those years of the Vegas circuit, and it wasn't until some white dude from the UK brought her over to the UK, and that's where she broke out with the "What's Love Got to Do with It." I really wish that would be stated more because the US be giving black women a run for their money. Like it's not till we have to go AWOL, become expats, citizens of other countries and nations in order for us to have our peace and get our flowers and all the other things. But yeah, she went through a lot. Not it's not like she just became this budding superstar overnight. It came with sacrifices. It came with a lot of pain, a lot of heartache. So it's like, why would I want to rewatch that? And why would you, you know what I'm saying, feel some type of way about me honoring my feelings and honoring myself in that? I'm not going to put myself through no uncomfortable situations anymore just for your enjoyment or your pleasure or whatever, just to soothe your curiosity. I don't care how feel how you feel. Feel how you feel, beloved. And that's how I love about Tina Turner. She was like, feel how you feel. Like we're not talking about this anymore. And also the thing about Tina Turner is, back to what I said about the older that I get, the more that I understand her. It really is an art to decide for real, that you're gonna leave this old narrative that has been a part of your life for so long. You're gonna leave it behind. You're gonna completely detach from it. You're not gonna have anything else to do with it. You're not gonna think about it, give it air, breathe on it anymore. That takes a certain level of power, of like self-assurance, of dedication, of commitment, conviction, to completely say that I am no longer associated with this trauma. I am no longer associated with those bloody nights. I'm no longer associated with that fear, that the sadness, the pain, the abuse. I'm no longer associated with that. This is my new reality. And she created a brand new, happy, healthy, like fairy tale of a life for herself, because she decided I am not going to acknowledge this anymore. I'm not acknowledging those people I was attached to. I feel like she damn near acknowledged her own kids, which sometimes that's just how it be. I know that's where I'm at. Listen, if I saw anybody from my family today, I'd be like, I don't know this man. Sorry to this man. I don't know y'all. I don't know y'all. I'm Tina. Call me Tina Turner. I don't know y'all. That's just that. That's just how I feel. Okay. Moving right along. Grace Jones. Grace Jones. I'm with her dude. I need to hurry up and get this tattoo. Okay. I want to get. She's my alter ego. Can't you tell by the cheekbones? Can we tell? Okay, love her down. Um, Mainly because she's just her. You know, that's it. But yeah, alter ego, Base Jones. That's my alter ego. Okay, that's an ode to Grace. So she was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica. She's Sagittarius. She is best known for My Jamaican Guy and modeling and hula hooping and skating and being British. And she's most hated for being unapologetically herself and defining herself. And she is known for the quote, people hate me because I am not easily bought. I also love her because there sometimes, I know that there used to be this big emphasis on like, especially if you were a chocolate woman with short hair, you would be equated to being a bit more mask. And Grace didn't give no fuck. She was like, and is, and played on those beautiful cheekbones and just like the definition and like the contrast. And she's just so dynamic. And I especially love the stories of like her younger years and how much of a rebel I feel like she is. I feel like she's very much like giving rock star, like the black Paris Hilton before Paris Hilton was Paris Hilton. She's very audacious. I know she hates the word diva, she hates the word icon and legendary. So I feel like audacious would probably be like the next best thing for her. I just love how gorgeous she is, and she just never needed nobody to tell her anything about herself. She just never needed it. She never needed anybody's opinion. She never needed nobody's validation. She's like one of the first celebrities that I can recall, because sketch comedy shows like a Mad TV or SNL back in the day, did numbers on celebrities. You think that they be talking trash about folks these days? They be taking it easy on folks because we in the era of mental health. Is health is wealth, all that stuff. Back in the day, they did not care. They were ripping celebrities to shreds, and they would like do some kind of like barbaric skits about Grace Jones. Just again, like just overdoing, just playing up on maybe the more mask features or mannerisms or how passionate she is, aka aggressive things. And Miss Mama's never responded to anything. I never like read an article about, oh, this really tore her down, this really messed with her self-esteem. She never ran to nobody's table to get nothing nipped or tucked or anything. Sis said, this is who I am. You're gonna take it and you're gonna leave me alone. And I live for that. There's so many people that is like, if someone doesn't even say good morning back to them, they're in pieces. Do they like me? What did I do? Why didn't they say anything? Most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. What's with this? Get into yourself. Like Grace Jones, be into herself. It's her show. It's always been her show. You know? Yeah. Perfect. I'm not gonna get that tattoo real soon. I need that ASAP. Honestly. Okay. We're closing out. I think that was like no, I think we have one more. Oh yeah, we have more. Josephine Baker. I love her. Okay. Now again, this is what I will say with all of the problematic visionaries that I have mentioned during this workshop, during this event, during this celebration, is that I just love them as people. Like, I love their character. I love their integrity. I love their grace. I love their style. I love their tenacity. I just love their medium, their mediumship, their craftsmanship, whatever it is. And so with Josephine Baker, we'll finish her stats. She's a Virgo. She's best known for the banana skirt dance and being a French spy. She is most hated for renouncing her US citizenship and being a French spy. So what I love about Josephine Baker, she said, which I'm not gonna do is play my face. Okay. She said, which I'm not finna do is this. Like, I'm not gonna continue to and she left the US when she was 19. She got married, she was 13. I can't tell she was saying that due to racism, like her husband got lynched and she was widowed, or Jim Crow laws broke her and her lover apart. I'm not sure what happened with her and her lover, right? Again, but she was also 13 at the time, so I don't necessarily know how much of a love affair that was. Okay, but moving on. At 19, she left to Perry to do burlesque. Okay, and she ended up doing a lot of shows for the military personnel and was having all kind of racial slurs thrown at her, people telling her to go back to Africa. And she said, based on that, y'all will never see me back in the US again. I'm good, love. Enjoy. And she renounced her US citizenship. And she said, France, whatever y'all need, I got you. And so what she would do is, collect information from the German Nazis to return to the French, they would be up on game about whatever war strategies they was about to whip out next. And she did that with much glee and fervor as she just valued her peace and was willing to do whatever to keep that peace, aka be a full spy. I think that's also another thing. There's so much divine feminine energy in this lineup that I have. It's like all these individuals really just explored the whole spectrum of their femininity, of their divinity, and allowed nothing or no one to stop them or deter them from doing the things that have been placed on their heart to do, or to try things that they've been interested in trying, or to be people that they've always wanted to be. And for Josephine Baker to be a burlesque dancing French spy in World War II is mind blowing. Black women are amazing, and shout out to American Black women. Me, yeah, we're super dynamic. We're so random. Like Black American women, we're just so random. You never see us coming. Like you never know from which direction we're coming. Like folks are always thrown off when I tell them where I'm from. It's just like no. Black girls in the States are thorough, just in case y'all didn't know. Okay. That's some G shit though, for real. Like, how do you just decide that because that's extreme. There's just so much danger in being a spy. What if you get caught? And I'm not stellar at history, but I do know that World War II in particular was one of those wars that folks was dying down. It was like one of those, you know, I don't know. It was just there was a lot of forces involved. It was a world war where folks were more active than what we see today. She was putting herself in some danger. But she had the charm, the grace, probably the discernment and the spiritual protection too, because also all Black women are magical. But I like to say there's something about these Black American, because it's also like we know that we're divinely protected, so we also act and walk and go on about our day-to-day lives as if we're divinely protected. And so she just had a lot of trust in what she was doing and who she was to know that she's good. She gladly accepted the assignments. Gladly. That's my girl. We love her. Okay. Okay. So our honorable mentions, that was my picks. Hold on for 1 second. Those aren't my movies. Okay, we is back, y'all. Honorable mentions before we close out this session. Okay. We have Khalees, Erykah Badu, Iggy Azalea, Tiffany New York Pollard, and Naomi Campbell. Oh Lord. See, okay. See, listen. All right, y'all. Let's try to push through. Khalees, All these are honorable mentions because I think that with time, people have just been, I guess, cool with it, or not necessarily cool with it, but like how kind of like what I said with Nicki Minaj, how she's HR payroll, and you understand the quirks after a while, and why things, why people act the way they act. Um, a lot of people said that Khalees was rude when folks would or paparazzi would see her out and about. This is overheating. That's what this is. Y'all finna be sideways. Hold on, where's my let me turn this like here we go. Look. It just is what it is. We're gonna be sideways. Oh well. Oh well, girl. Okay. I'm so weak. Cause part of me just wanna okay, are we good? Have to do it again. Girl, because part of me about to just be like, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and close this out, honey. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. If y'all want to know why these are my honorable mentions, y'all can't hit me up. But I would say for the most part, these parliamentary visionaries were finally catching up. Okay. All right, that's good. Then thank y'all for joining. And yeah, enjoy your nights. Happy Black History Month. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support always. And I'll see you in the next workshop celebration. Movie night, Darkest is movie night on March 15th. Bye, y'all.